I think we did this also. I think we did the first one. We're the second one. This is follows. Alufeinu misubalim. They said this is a pasuk. Alufeinu, aluf. This is a lashon teach, like aleph beis, learn. Our teachers, misubalim. Misubalim is like soivel, to bear burden. Okay, so what do they say? Alufeinu misubalim. Rav Shmuel. There are two different interpretations in this bracha. Rav Amar. Chad Amar Alufeinu b'Torah. Our teachers in Torah. Umusubalim b'mitzvahs. And those that are burdened with mitzvahs. Chad Amar Alufeinu b'Torah. U'b'mitzvahs. They are Alufeinu in Torah and mitzvahs. Umusubalim b'yisurin. But you are burdened with yisurin. Goes on, the pasuk continues. In peretz, shlit tiheis yasenu. This is all the pasuk. The pasuk says. The pasuk says. Alfeinu musubalim. Ein peretz. Should be ein peretz. Ein yotzis. So we're going to see what does that mean. What is it? It's like a tefillah in Peretz. We hope Shaloti es Yasenu, our Chabura, should not be like Siyas David. Why? Well, David Sheyatzu Bimenu Achitophel. Achitophel, who lots of Tarbasura. He went off Derech Achitophel eventually, and we hope we don't have that in our Torah. Vein Yotzis. Plus, this is a quote of the pasuk again. Ein yotzis. There should be no going out. In Peretz also there should be no break. There shouldn't be some person should not break out and be in the wrong way. Ein yotzis shel tzis shel shoyel shel tzimenu doig adaymi. Same idea. Pasuk continues. Ve'ein tzeicher. And there should be no tzeicher. I think is like yelling. There should be no one screaming. Shel yasasenu kisiyas shel isha shel kichazi. Gechazi, Tosis explains, because they had to call out on him, Tameh. There's a Mitzayra. We shouldn't have that. Birchofoseinu in our streets, Li'elanu ben o Talmud, Shemagdiach b'tafshilei b'rabim, that burns the tafshil publicly, meaning to say that he does the wrong thing. He's tarbas ra. He goes off the wrong way, and he burns the tafshil. In the streets, publicly. Okay. Darshan now is Pasuk. This is connected. Yeah. Shimuna. Say, listen. Avire leiv. Avire leiv. We'll see what the interpretation is of avire leiv is. Harachoiki mitzdaka. Now it sounds like don't sound so good. They're virei, they're distant from tzedakah. Rav Shmuel Amid Rav Yechon Rav Moshe. Charomar kol elam kulay nizanim b'tzedakah. No, it's just praise. Everyone else, what we are nizanim, we are sustained by the tzedakah, by the mercy, the tzedakah of Hashem. But they are sustained by their own schusim, by their own strength, the tzaddikim. And some, you would say, even not the whole world really is sustained through their schusim. And yet they themselves don't even take their own schusim. The Paschal comes out and announces, Chanina was a tzaddik, and the world was getting their sustenance to his schus. And he sustains himself, he subsides on a kav charubin, on just some carobs. That's all he eats. Erev Shabbos, Erev Shabbos for a whole week. That's what he eats. That is one interpretation of the pasuk of Yerlev. Chokim Tzedakah. Alternatively, another pshat, or Pligid of Yehuda, Man Abir Lev. It's actually it's a negative term. It's goyve. It's haughty ones that are high up. That's no pshat. Goyve actually says it's a certain type of it's a nation. It's a race. It's a nation. Goyve tipshoy. It's the Gavoy Tipshoy. From the Sinim. Why are they Tipshoy? Amar there's a Teda. How do you know they're Tipshoy? There's the people that are so caught up in themselves, they're making bad decisions. They're Rechoikim Mitztaka. They're Birilev. They're thick-hearted or something. They're closed-hearted. Their hearts are closed. And I'll prove it to you that not one of them, no one ever converted. They never wanted to become Jewish. A whole country. Amar Avashi, similar thing, Manamak, B'nei Masa Machsi Abir Lev. They are Abir Lev, this place, Manamachsa. The Kachazu Yakut Derais. Because in Manamachsa they had a huge yeshiva. They had a huge Yachikala. A lot of people would come and learn before the Yom Tovim. Treizim is twice a year, Treizim B'Shata. And yet, nobody became. No people saw the godless of Torah, the covet of Torah, and they didn't want to become Gerim. Okay, now we're going to learn a little sugya. Just pay attention. There's a little bit cheshbon, slight cheshbon, not a big deal. So we learned in the Mishnah as follows. We learned in the Mishnah that we had a machlekes. What if a chassan is getting married? We say, the Gemara says, is Torah b'dvar mitzvah. He's very Torah, he's getting married. So he says, Potter saying Kriya Shema. Doesn't say Kriya Shema. What if he wants to say Kriya Shema? What do you do? So he says, not so weak, let's go. Rosh Yeshiva Gamliel disagreed with that. Rosh Yeshiva says, no. Rosh Yeshiva says, he said, listen to the words, you can't just say, I want to say Kriya Shema. You say, listen, who are you fooling? Nobody has kavanah. You saying you have kavanah? You can't do things that are fooling everybody. Not acceptable. Inappropriate behavior, we'll say. So the Gemara analyzes this from a different place. The main way that Rabbi Shimon Gamliel chayish li'hoicha. So that means to say, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel bases himself here on a concern for gaiva, which means to say, as well as in other words, the Chazal came out and they said, arrogant behavior is unacceptable, halachically unacceptable. So if something is Yehoira, and it is Yehoira, and we're choishish for something which appears to be Yehoira, will be unacceptable. Of course, it's really an issue of midas, and it really depends what the person's feeling. But we can't allow this type of behavior which implies gaiva. Right? So that means that's what Rabbi Shimon Gamliel seems to be saying. For Rabbanan lo chayshe. Rabbanan says, it's okay. If he's honest, we assume that he's honest. It's not gaiva. He just wants to do the mitzvah. Okay. But did we not learn the opposite opinions? It's not. There's a machlekes. We learned in the Mishnah Psachim. Mokum shenogu lasas malacha b'tisha b'av oiseh. That normally a person should always do the custom of the place. So now on Tisha B'Av, there's different customs as to whether or not it's appropriate to work on Tisha B'Av. And some people say, no, it's aveilus. You can't work, it's not work. So so they do. So always do according to the place. Now here's the component. Now, Talmid Chachamim, because they have a different appreciation of the Avelis, so they don't work. Okay. Now, comes along with Shimon Gamliel and says, Shimon says, yeah, you should make yourself a Talmid Chacham. when it comes to Tisha B'Av, you should get up and announce, I'm a Talmud Chacham. I don't work. It's Avedis. Because Avedis is very important. Avedis of the Beis Hamikdash. So, effectively, Gemara, that's a stira. Kasha D'Rabbanan, Kasha D'Rabbanan, Kasha D'Rabbanan, Mishum B'Glil. Here the Rabbanan say that fit in what everybody else is doing. Don't do Malacha. We're here, but the Rabbanan say, you want to say Kriya Shema? Go ahead. And here, Rav Shmuel says, Rav Shmuel is concerned with the Hayra, don't say Kriya Shema. But yeah, you can get up and say, I'm a Talmud Chacham, I'm not doing Malacha. Steer up. So the Gemara answers. Rabbi Yechanan, good question. And Muchlakes Hashita. We have to say that you're right. Something's wrong here, and we have to switch it around. One of the two places has to get switched around. Is to make it consistent. That's the solution. Can you tell us which one? Of Shisha Brei Davidi Amar La'olam Loi Tachlif, and we can logically explain why the inconsistency. The Rabbanan Ad Rabbanan Lo Kashya. So the Rabbanan, we said over here, they're makel, they're on Yehoira, and they're makel. No, that's because there's a reason. Kriya Shema came in the Kuliyam Kakari. And the Rabbanan say, yeah, what are Chazal against? Don't do things that people aren't doing. That's Gaiva. So now when it comes to saying Kriya Shema, it's true. Chassanim do not say Kriya Shema. However, everybody's saying Kriya Shema, right? You go to the wedding, they give a klap, Mariv, and everybody starts saying, Kriya Shema, Rachum, Chas is there. Well, it's not saying Kriya Shema. Well, everybody's saying Kriya Shema. That's not Gaiva. That's just doing what everybody else is doing. Now, he's Pater, he doesn't have to say Kriya Shema, but if he feels he'd like to say Kriya Shema, we can't call him out on Gaiva for that. That's, it's not Nichsik Yehoire. This is the emphasis here. It doesn't appear to be arrogance. Now here in Tisha B'Av, everybody's working. All the regular people are working. And this guy gets up now and says, I'm Talmud Chacham, v'iyuloi kavid, mechsik Yehoire. So that is arrogance. The Shimon Gamliel, okay, that's it. Shimon Gamliel Lokasho. Now how are we going to show? What's he doing? This is Kriya Shema. What's the big deal? So there, that's different. In other words, again, why does it look like Gaiva? Because it's obvious that he's doing something he's not. When you make yourself obviously doing something, that's wrong. We know you have to have kavanah for Kriya Shema. Everyone agrees to that point. We know you can't really be mechaven. So we know clearly that you're pretending to be something you're not. That is called unacceptable. That's gaiva. But by Tisha B'Av, so we don't know. You're not clearly doing something which you're not. All you're doing is not working. That doesn't say because you're a Talmud Chacham. It just says you're not working. You're not the only one not working. It's true, most people are going to work, but there are always people that don't go to work. There are people that kind of, they can sit around and do nothing. There are those people. So we don't know anything. Maybe you're just a batlon. Comment, batloni, ike b'shuka. There's always batloni. It's not a kasha. Okay, Zok Mishnah Vayter Rabbi Mishnah Meisa Mutu Lefanov. So Lo Aleinu, it is a mace. What's the halacha? Are we allowed to say Kriya Shema? So the halacha is, if his mace, we'll see the definitions of this in the Gemara. If Lo Aleinu, someone has a relative who was a mace, and the goof is there of the mace, so it's the fun of the halacha is he's potter mi Kriya Shema u'min tefillin. Kol mitzvahs musa Torah. Rashi learns oisik b'mitzvah potter mitzvah. You have an obligation to be kover the mace. This is the priority right now, and all other mitzvahs just push to the side. Similarly, when they're carrying the meat of the mace, noisei hamita v'chilufein. So there are those that carry the mita. There are those that switch over, take the place of some carrying the mita. They get tired and they exchange. And the chaluf v'chilufein, and those that change, they got those that change. And there's a whole bunch of people here waiting around to be part of this mitzvah. So the rule. So who? And now and this coincides with Zman Kriyas Shor. So how do we deal with that? So Shlifnei Amita, Shlachar Amita. Now whether you're in front of the Mita, in other words, the Mita is proceeding. So there are those in front of it, and there are those that are behind it. They already were carrying the Mita. So Shlifnei Amita, they're waiting to carry the Mita. Tzarech Behem Pturim. So if they're needed, that's called, even though they're not doing it yet, don't start Kriyas Shema, wait to do the mitzvah. Even tzarech behen, we'll see what this means, but since they already did the mitzvah, in the meantime they're potter. Even though they'll be needed after, but they can still right now, they did it, they have time, they can say Kriyas Shema. Afterwards they'll be needed again, but right now say Kriyas Shema. We'll see, I think, in the Gemara exactly how that works. Both are potter from tefillah. Okay. Story goes on. Kavrus hameis v'chazru. Now, after the halachah is as follows: after mace is buried, so then we do nichum avelim. That means we do it by making a shura. That we line up so the oval can walk down the shura and everyone is menachem. So that's it. So now, again, remember it's Zman Kriyas Shema. So what do we do? So it depends. If let's say it's going to take 5 minutes, whatever it is, 3-4 minutes to get to the shura, say Kriyas Shema. We'll see what that means. That the beginning, the first paragraph, the second paragraph, also we'll see in the Gemara. Now those that are standing in the shura. Now you have a big shura. Let's say it's huge. There are 50 people, right? The pnimim, the people that are inside the shura and really actively being menachem oval, they're potter from Kriyas Shema. Chitzonim are chayovim b'Kriyas Shema. Nashim v'avodim ktanim pturim b'Kriyas Shema me'tfilin. Women are potter from saying Kriyas Shema. It says mitzvah esishas on grama chayovim b'tfila b'zuzah b'irkas. But yet they're chayiv in tefillah. Tefillah, we'll see in the Gemara why women are chayiv in tefillah. We'll see. We'll discuss it. We'll do a little bit more. In a minute, mutter lefan of in. Now it says if we pay careful attention to the wording of the Mishnah, if the mace is lefan of your potter, and what if it's not lefan of Mishnah? Any mutter lefan of what about that? In other words, right? Lo, it's only when it's right there. Fact the Gemara, is that true? Mino misha mesa mutter lefan of oichol bebeis bais acher. Now the halacha is you don't eat in front of a mace. Bais acher, by the way, in Chazal means you go to a different room, a different house, a different room. Vim eino bais acher. You have no other room. It's only one room. And the mace is there. Oichel bebeis haver. So you should go to your friend's house. If you ain't beis haver, you don't know where to go. Oisa mechitzas, then at least put up a mechitzah for oichel. Don't eat in front of the mace. If you ain't davar lasos mechitzah, so you're not obligated to starve. Machse panav oichel. Turn around. Don't face the mace. Ve'ena mesiv. Now, ain't a mesiv oichel. Now you don't lean back and eat. These are rules of eating when there's a mace. Okay, we'll see. Okay, we'll see tomorrow.